I've just like, I don't know, everything that's going on right now between COVID, the whole Russia-Ukraine crisis, inflation, rates rising, like the overextended housing market and stock market, I still think that like massive stocks are still overextended.
Yes.
But that said, I do think that there's so many opportunities out there. So this week and probably next week, I'm just trying to identify like the companies that I want to be a part of long term, like super long term, and kind of slowly start adding those to my portfolio, just because like aside from the Facebook, the Apple, the Amazon, the Google, the Teslas, like if you go beneath that, there are companies that are down between 40 and 70% off their highs, and I think that those are probably good ones to start looking at buying. Mine right now are like Intel, PayPal, Square,
You said PayPal,
DM. I fucking love DM, you guys know. What are other ones that are good?
I know I have a lot in my portfolio that are down 40%.
What, like Fubo? Do you own
Is Fubo down 40%?
Fubo's down. I don't know if it's 40%. Oh, SoFi is a good one.
SoFi is one I've actively been adding to for probably the last 2 months. I forget who brought it to my attention, but that's a stock that's like very undervalued right now. And then AMD.
Really?
Yeah, I'm obsessed with AMD.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be dope. There's so many out there that are great. And I think, like, especially going into this new wave of the future, I feel like the stuff that's going to be popular is definitely, like, Fintech, definitely clean energy.
Still EVs.
Still EVs, but also just moving past that into just, like, how we're producing our energy. I think that the Ukraine-Russia conflict has really highlighted a need for sustainable energy just because of the whole gas situation right now. I don't know if all of you know, but the United States is now considering releasing, is it 1 million barrels of oil a day?
It's either a day or a week.
It's either a day or a week, but the US basically is going to release substantial amounts of oil from their reserves in order to combat the rising oil prices and help Americans pay for their oil. But like, why should we live in a world that's even like that? Like, why not just live in a world where we're able to create our own energy for cheap? Because we have the capabilities, we just choose not to do it. Yeah, cheers to that.
Cheers. So we can drink on that, sister. I think a lot of us agree.
Yeah.
And then it's also forcing people to consider, instead of gas savings now, like, should we go with an electric vehicle?
Yeah.
And that might not be in everyone's like price like wheelhouse. So, but also neither's the gas right now.
Okay, so something that I've been thinking on that note is ride sharing. I'm like super bullish on ride sharing just because like as this whole work from home thing continues and like as the remote living situation continues, like you're here in Miami but you're also in Texas and you're also in New York, and like I'm the same way, like everywhere, nowhere, all at the same time. It doesn't really make sense for people to buy cars anymore.
Yeah, you could get a giant well, actually don't get a giant one, but you could get like one of those Mercedes vans.
The Sprinters.
Yeah, the Sprinters are those vans that
I love those.
6 people can get in, and it's like, here, you can use the car this day, you can use the car this day. I actually almost did ride share on Uber on my way over here because it was like half the price.
No, but Uber is ride sharing. Just in general.
Good point. Yeah. In a whole consistence, my bad.
You meant like where you share with someone in the car. No, but like ride sharing in general is like where one person owns the car, so that would be like the Uber driver, and then they share their car basically with all of the users, which I think is going to be a huge trend moving forward. And then that brings us into also like self-driving. So there are companies like Laser, which is like Luminar Technologies, the ticker is LAZR, that works on LiDAR sensors for self-driving cars. There's a bunch of different technologies. I think Google is trying to come out with a self-driving car. I'm not sure where they're at.
So that raises the point is, if we think rideshare is going to be big in the future, will we see another Uber and Lyft? Like, you know, are we going to see another big conglomerate? Are we going to see the Google of Tesla?
Or will they become almost like an American Airlines or United Airlines, you know, of that scale and size where it's just like part of our society, or like the cruise lines, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't compared their valuations, but I almost feel like as we move forward, ride sharing is going to fall into that category.
That makes sense. I want to like make notes of what we're gonna do future videos on too.
Yeah.
That's so freaking interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
But it's just gotten so expensive. Chips are expensive. Y'all, shopping in Florida is expensive.
But it's cheaper than everywhere else.
But it's cheaper than everywhere else.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than New York, that's for sure. But coming from Texas, it's more expensive. But it just keeps going up. So
I know inflation is out of control. But yeah. So for the future, long chips, long clean energy, long electric vehicles, long self-driving, long ride sharing, long fintech, long home sharing, Airbnb. I've been trying to add to Airbnb. And then obviously like long anything that's decentralized.
yes.
Because our government is
Solar.
shit.
Hi everyone, we have a very exciting announcement for you today.
If we hit 100,000 subscribers by August 26th, one lucky fan will have a chance to hang with us in New York City.
It gets better. You won't be coming alone, you'll get to bring a friend.
We'll fly you both first class, stay in a dope hotel, and go on a double date.
With us at one of New York City's most exclusive restaurants. We will sugar mommy the whole thing.
We have fun activities planned for the entire weekend, including $5,000 to each of you in any currency you choose.
So hit the subscribe button and we can't wait to see you in New York.